Have you ever wondered why you wake up feeling groggy, forget small details, or lack the energy you once had, even after a full night's sleep? What if the answer isn't aging, but something as simple as your bedtime? This one small choice could be silently draining your memory, heart health, and vitality. In today's video, we'll uncover the scientifically backed golden hour for bedtime that's transforming the lives of seniors across America, and you'll want to stick around to discover how it can change yours too. As a sleep specialist with over 20 years of experience, I've seen older adults go from restless nights to waking up refreshed, mentally sharp, and emotionally balanced, just by adjusting when they go to bed. You'll learn why your body's internal clock shifts dramatically after 70, and how ignoring it could lead to fatigue, forgetfulness, or even heart problems. We'll dive into groundbreaking research from Harvard, Mayo Clinic, and Johns Hopkins, revealing why 9 to 10 p.m. is the sweet spot for restorative sleep. Plus, hear real-life stories of patients in their 70s and 80s who regained clarity and energy in weeks. Don't miss the 5 simple habits to sleep like you used to, and a surprising truth about your heart and memory that could redefine how you age. Stay until the end for a life-changing tip you'll wish you knew sooner. Like, subscribe, and let's start this journey to better sleep together. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. As we get older, sleep becomes one of those things that we can no longer take for granted. Have you noticed how your sleep isn't quite what it used to be? Perhaps you found yourself nodding off during your favorite evening show, only to wake up in the middle of the night. Perhaps at 2 a.m., staring up at the ceiling, completely awake, your mind spinning. Or maybe you still manage to get a solid 7 or 8 hours, but when you wake up, you feel like you haven't rested at all. It's as though your body is betraying you, despite doing everything right. I want you to know that if this sounds familiar, you're not alone, and more importantly, it's not because you're doing something wrong or that you're simply getting old. The truth is that your body is changing, and your sleep patterns are evolving along with it. When we reach the age of 70, something subtle yet profound happens to our brains. We start to lose a special kind of sleep, the deep sleep. This is the kind of sleep that is so crucial for our bodies. It's the time when our systems repair themselves, our minds clear, and our energy is restored. Think about it. Deep sleep is our body's natural reset button. However, studies show that by the time we hit our 70s, we experience up to 40% less of this rejuvenating sleep than we did in our 50s. That's not just a little dip. It's a massive shift that affects our whole well-being. What this means is that, even if you're technically asleep for a full night, your body and brain may not be getting the deep, restorative rest they need. And it's no wonder so many older adults find themselves waking up feeling exhausted, mentally foggy, or emotionally drained, despite the fact they've spent hours in bed. But there's more to this puzzle. As we age, our body starts producing melatonin, the hormone responsible for helping us feel sleepy, much earlier in the evening. So, while you may start to feel that familiar wave of drowsiness around 8 o'clock or 8:30 in the evening, it's often easy to push that feeling aside. We've all been there, distracted by TV, emails, or even just the sheer habit of staying up later than our bodies want us to. I want to make one thing clear: an early wave of sleepiness is not a weakness. It's not a sign that you're getting old and fragile. No, it's your body's wisdom speaking to you. It's your body's natural rhythm trying to guide you toward rest. And when we ignore it, when we try to push through and fight it, that's when sleep becomes elusive. It's when we wrestle with our natural inclinations, and sleep slips further from our grasp. I remember one of my longtime patients, Mr. Johnson, walking into my office one cool fall afternoon, utterly frustrated. At 70, he was a retired high school history teacher, sharp-minded, gentle-spirited, and a man who had always taken pride in his daily routines. But now, he was exhausted and felt like he was missing something vital. He said to me, "Doctor, I go to bed at the same time I always have, around 11 o'clock. I lie there for hours, and when I finally do sleep, I wake up more tired than before. What's wrong with me?" We talked. We ran a few tests. But the truth was clear. There was nothing physically wrong with Mr. Johnson. The problem was simpler than that. His internal clock had changed. His brain was producing melatonin earlier than it ever had before, but his old habits were keeping him up too late. His body was asking for something different, but his mind hadn't caught up yet. I suggested something simple, something that might sound a bit strange at first. For the next 3 weeks, go to bed at 9:30 p.m. No TV, no late-night reading. Just listen to your body. He chuckled. "That early?" he asked, clearly skeptical. "Just try it," I said with a smile. 3 weeks later, Mr. Johnson walked back into my office, and I could hardly recognize him. He stood taller. His eyes were brighter, and there was a certain vibrance to him that had been missing before. "Doctor," he said, "it's like someone turned the light back on in my brain." He'd been sleeping more soundly, waking up with more clarity, and even starting to enjoy his morning walks again, a routine he'd abandoned months before due to fatigue. What's remarkable is that Mr. Johnson's story isn't rare. It's far more common than we think. There are millions of older adults out there trying to live by the same sleep schedule they maintained decades ago, even though their bodies are asking for a change. The truth is, sleep in your 70s isn't broken. It's just different. Your body still craves rest, healing, and restoration, but it's doing so on a new timeline. Once you understand this, once you accept that your body is simply trying to follow its own rhythm, you can begin to honor that rhythm rather than fight it. The good news is, once you start listening to your body's signals, you'll find that sleep can be easier, more restorative, and far more rewarding. You just need to learn to flow with it instead of pushing against it. And when you finally give in to that natural urge, that's when true rest begins again. The kind of rest that can transform your life. That sleep window, the golden hour, between 9 and 10 p.m., is truly crucial, especially after 70. Most doctors may not openly admit this, but let me share something that could change the way you approach your nights. The time you go to bed might actually matter just as much, if not more, than the duration of your sleep. If you've ever stayed up late, whether binge-watching a show, chatting with family, or enjoying some quiet solitude, and then woke up the next morning feeling groggy, sluggish, and far from refreshed, know that you're not alone in that. But here's the twist. Recent research from the Mayo Clinic in 2024 revealed something truly eye-opening. Older adults who consistently went to bed between 9 and 10 p.m. experienced an astonishing 45% improvement in sleep quality. Yes, you read that right. 45%. That's not just a small bump or some placebo effect. This is a measurable, undeniable change in how we sleep, how deeply we rest, and how much energy we have when we wake up. Why does this happen? As we age, our internal body clock undergoes shifts, and we're often unaware of just how much this affects our sleep. The hormones responsible for regulating our rest, melatonin, our sleep hormone, and cortisol, the one that helps us wake up, start to operate earlier in the evening and morning. In our younger years, say in our 40s or 50s, we might have felt the first wave of drowsiness around 10:30 or 11 p.m., but by the time we hit our 70s, our bodies begin to nudge us toward rest as early as 8:30 p.m. That sleepy, worn-out feeling you experience in the early evening? It's not simply age creeping up on you. It's your body giving you the signal. It's time for rest. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. But all too often, we ignore that internal cue. We fight it. We keep ourselves awake, telling ourselves that we'll catch a second wind, only to end up feeling restless and frustrated, wondering why our sleep seems broken and fragmented. Let me tell you about Mrs. Williams, a remarkable 76-year-old woman who came to my clinic after battling insomnia for over 40 years. She tried everything: melatonin, herbal teas, sound machines, even prescription sleep aids. Nothing worked. One evening, in a quiet moment in my office, she confided, "I've been going to bed at midnight since I was a teenager. I'm not even sure I know how to sleep any earlier." I gently explained that her body's rhythm had changed, that it was no longer the same as it was when she was younger. And maybe, just maybe, all she needed was to stop fighting the clock and embrace the rhythm her body was now offering her. She agreed to give it a try, in bed by 9:30 p.m. every night, for 3 weeks. And that's when the magic happened. She returned to my office with tears in her eyes. "Doctor," she whispered, "I finally sleep. I sleep through the night." Not only that, but her daytime fatigue disappeared. Her mood lifted. And the fog that once clouded her memory started to clear. All from one simple shift: listening to her body and honoring the golden hour. Mrs. Williams is not alone in this. In fact, our clinic conducted a 6-month survey with 500 seniors, and the results were overwhelming. Those who embraced the 9 to 10 p.m. bedtime routine reported remarkable improvements. 80% fell asleep more easily, 75% woke up fewer times during the night, and 70% felt more balanced and energized in the mornings. This isn't a miracle, folks. This is science and self-care at its best. If your body has been asking for sleep earlier than it used to, don't resist it. That early tiredness you feel in the evening isn't something to fight. It's something to embrace. 10 p.m. is no longer early for so many. It's perfect. The golden hour is waiting, and it could just change the quality of your life, one restful night at a time. The hidden, almost magical healing power of sleep is something we often overlook in our busy lives, especially as we grow older. When we think of sleep, it's easy to just see it as a break, a time for our bodies to shut down, to momentarily escape the hustle and bustle of daily activities. But for those of us in our 60s, 70s, and beyond, sleep is far from just a break. It's not merely about resting. It's about repair, it's about restoration, and when we make the decision to go to bed at the right time, sleep becomes an extraordinary tool in preserving and enhancing our health. Take, for example, your heart, the very engine that keeps everything in motion. It's so easy to take our hearts for granted, but I've witnessed firsthand just how transformative a proper sleep routine can be for the cardiovascular system. For years, we've been tracking the sleep habits of older adults in our clinic alongside their heart health, and I can honestly say the results are nothing short of remarkable. Those who consistently went to bed between 9 and 10 p.m. experienced a staggering 45% reduction in heart-related issues. That's not a trivial figure. That's life-altering. These individuals saw their blood pressure stabilize, their irregular heartbeats decrease, and, in many cases, they were able to reduce or even eliminate heart medications with the help of their doctors. It's as though finally, after all these years, their bodies were allowed to rest at the right time, and in return, their hearts were able to heal from within. One patient, in particular, shared something that stuck with me. "I didn't realize how tired my heart was until it started beating easy again." Imagine that, a heart that no longer has to fight itself, but instead finds its rhythm once more. But the benefits of sleep don't end with your heart. Oh no, your memory, that quiet and precious vault of all your life's experiences, your relationships, your stories, also stands to benefit greatly when you honor your sleep. I think back to Mr. and Mrs. Thompson, a lovely couple in their mid-70s who came to me one day, anxious about the little things that were slipping through the cracks. Forgotten appointments, repeated questions, a foggy mind despite sleeping longer. I could feel their fear, and who could blame them? That's a terrifying feeling. But when they committed to a consistent 9:30 p.m. bedtime, it wasn't long before I saw them begin to turn a corner. Just 3 months later, their memory function had improved by 32%, a change confirmed by simple cognitive tests. Mrs. Thompson stopped forgetting her medications. Mr. Thompson found himself diving into his morning crosswords again, completing them with pride. He grinned at me and said, "I feel like the lights are back on upstairs." And let me tell you, science backs up what we saw in those few months. Early sleep allows the brain to undergo a natural detox. Clears out the harmful toxins that build up during the day, those toxins that are linked to forgetfulness, cognitive decline, and even Alzheimer's. What's perhaps even more beautiful, though, is how proper sleep timing impacts your emotional health. I've seen it with my own eyes. Patients who adopted a steady 9 to 10 p.m. sleep routine experienced an incredible 58% reduction in anxiety and depressive symptoms. This isn't just about feeling better or having a brighter mood. It's about waking up feeling like yourself again. It's about facing each day with purpose and calm, without the weight of stress pressing down on you. During those precious early nighttime hours, the brain enters a deep cleaning phase, clearing away the mental and emotional clutter that we gather throughout the day. It's like giving your mind a warm, soothing bath after a long, exhausting day. And if you have diabetes, or if you're concerned about your blood sugar, here's yet another reason to make sure your sleep schedule is in order. Those who adhered to an earlier sleep routine experienced more stable glucose levels overnight. Several patients were able to safely and gradually lower their insulin doses with their doctor's guidance. So, if you've ever wondered whether a simple bedtime could truly make a difference, let me tell you now, the answer is yes. 1,000 times yes. Because sleep isn't passive. It's a powerful medicine. And when you take it at the right time, it heals you in ways you never could have imagined. It's not just about rest. It's about restoration, in the truest sense of the word. 5 simple habits that can help you sleep like you used to. As we age, it can often feel like sleep becomes a distant memory, something we once enjoyed effortlessly, now just a longing. The good news? Sleep doesn't have to be lost forever. With some simple, thoughtful changes, you can reclaim the peaceful rest you deserve. These aren't complex rituals or expensive pills, but small habits. Habits that, when practiced consistently, can make all the difference. Over the years, I've shared these steps with countless patients, many of whom now sleep more deeply than they ever imagined possible. So, if you're ready to reclaim the sleep of your youth, here are 5 simple habits to consider. 1. Honor the golden hour. Sleep between 9 o'clock and 10 p.m. It might seem simple, almost too effortless, but the truth is that one of the most profound ways to reclaim your sleep is by syncing with the natural rhythm of your body. It's something so fundamental, yet so often ignored in the chaos of daily life. Have you ever noticed that wave of exhaustion that sweeps over you around 8:30 p.m.? That heaviness that settles in your eyelids, making it harder to stay alert, as if the weight of the day has simply caught up with you? That's not a weakness. Oh. It's your body's quiet, unspoken wisdom, a gentle reminder that it's time to wind down, to surrender to the rhythm that nature has designed for us. We've all felt it, the pull to rest when the world around us seems to slow down. Between 9 o'clock and 10 p.m., your body's internal clock, the circadian rhythm, is in its most natural state of readiness to rest, heal, and rejuvenate. And yet, how many of us push through it? We power through those last few hours of the day, thinking we can cheat sleep, but in doing so, we're ignoring the very signals that have kept our species thriving for thousands of years. I've seen so many people, myself included, caught in the trap of resisting that urge to rest. We think that we can catch up later, but the truth is, we can't. The body doesn't work like that. It's almost like catching a wave at just the right moment. When you let that natural pull guide you to bed between 9 o'clock and 10 p.m., you're permitting yourself to rest deeply, to restore, and to rejuvenate, without interruptions. You'll sleep more soundly, feel more refreshed, and wake up feeling more energized and alive. Trust your body's wisdom. It knows what it needs. When you align with this golden hour, you set the stage for a more peaceful, restorative night of sleep, one that truly revitalizes you for the day ahead. To ignore this rhythm, to fight against it, is like trying to swim against the tide. The tide always wins. So, why not let go and let yourself be carried by the natural flow? Sleep is not a luxury. It's a necessity. Honor your body, and it will reward you with the energy and vitality you need to face each new day. 2. Skip the caffeine and heavy meals at night. It's incredible how many times I've heard from patients who were completely unaware of the profound impact that caffeine can have on their sleep. And I get it. Many of us are accustomed to that afternoon cup of coffee or an after-dinner chocolate fix. But the truth is, those seemingly harmless indulgences can sabotage a good night's rest. The reality is that caffeine can stay in your system for up to 6 hours, long after you think it's worn off. That afternoon pick-me-up you rely on or that sweet treat you crave can be the very reason you're tossing and turning when you should be drifting off to sleep. It's a harsh truth, but it's one that many people just don't realize until they start making changes. And it's not just caffeine we need to worry about. Heavy meals close to bedtime can be just as destructive. Have you ever noticed how uncomfortable you feel after eating a rich or greasy meal? Your body is working overtime to digest when it should be winding down for the night. I can't stress this enough. Your body needs time to shift from active digestion to deep, restful sleep. Ideally, you should aim to have your last full meal at least 3 hours before bed. If you're hungry later, don't panic. Opt for something light and soothing that won't keep your body in overdrive. Think a banana, a handful of almonds, or a warm cup of non-caffeinated tea. These simple changes aren't just small tweaks, they're life changers. Trust me, they make all the difference. Instead of forcing your body to keep working through the night, you're helping it relax and ease into sleep naturally. 3. Dim the lights and set the mood. I know, it might sound a bit old school, but trust me, the wisdom of our ancestors still holds today. Think about it. They didn't have the harsh glow of blue screens or the artificial brightness of LED lights invading their evenings. Their days ended with the fading light of the sunset, and as the sun dipped below the horizon, so did their bodies, slowly, gently, shifting toward rest. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. But today, we've allowed technology to take over our rhythms. The glaring blue light from our phones, tablets, and TVs sends a signal to our brains that it's still day, urging us to stay awake, alert, and engaged. It's a cruel paradox. We desperately need rest, but the very devices we use to unwind are robbing us of it. This is where the power of dim lighting comes in, a simple, yet profoundly effective ritual that our bodies crave. When you turn down the lights around 7:30 or 8 p.m. and switch to a soft lamp with a warm amber bulb, you're sending a gentle, natural signal to your brain. It's time to rest, to let go of the day's stress, and prepare for the peaceful reprieve of sleep. It's like flipping a switch, one that's instinctive, primal even. Your body, knowing it's time to relax, automatically starts to unwind. It may seem like such a small thing, but the transformation is undeniable. Suddenly, your shoulders loosen, your mind begins to slow, and before you know it, your eyelids grow heavier, and the tension of the day starts to melt away. It's like your body, long accustomed to the rhythm of nature, remembers what it means to rest. 4. Create a gentle wind-down routine. As we move through life, it's easy to get caught up in the rush, rushing from one task to another, feeling the constant pressure of the clock. But when it comes to winding down at the end of the day, why should we treat ourselves any differently than we would treat a child? After all, we don't expect children to just jump into bed right after finishing their homework, so why rush ourselves into sleep? It's essential to allow ourselves the grace of a peaceful transition from the busyness of the day to the stillness of night. Taking 20 to 30 minutes to wind down is not a luxury. It's an absolute necessity. This time is your invitation to step away from the chaos and truly relax. Think about reading a few pages of a book, perhaps one that isn't too demanding or stimulating but something that soothes the mind. Or maybe you'll find comfort in soft music, something gentle to help your mind shift from alertness to serenity. Even light stretching can work wonders. helping your body release the tension that has built up throughout the day. But most importantly, avoid anything that might trigger stress. Don't dive into your to-do list or let the evening news flood your mind with more urgency and chaos. And please, do not engage in heavy conversations. This time, these precious moments, belong to you. It's about allowing yourself to breathe deeply and let go of the day's weight. Just like we would never force a child into sleep, we must stop trying to force ourselves into rest. We deserve to invite rest with tenderness and patience. In those quiet moments before sleep, we can gently ease into a state of calm, honoring our need for peace and relaxation. It's a reminder that rest, like everything else, should be approached with kindness. By embracing this simple ritual, we are gifting ourselves a deeper, more restful sleep, and a healthier, more peaceful tomorrow. 5. Step away from the screen. This may be the hardest one to commit to, but I promise you, it is one of the most powerful and transformative habits you can embrace. In this fast-paced world, we often forget just how deeply the constant exposure to screens impacts us, especially at night. The blue light emitted by our phones, tablets, and computers interferes with the production of melatonin, the very hormone responsible for helping us sleep. It's as if, in our late-night scrolling, we are sabotaging our chance to rest. Instead of winding down, we're tricking our brains into staying wide awake, long after we've shut down the screen. Think about it. How many times have you found yourself lying in bed, your mind still racing, long after you stopped watching that show or replying to that message? The key here is to step away. And I mean fully step away. At least 30 to 60 minutes before you plan to sleep, put down the phone, close the laptop, and give yourself the space to unwind naturally. The world won't fall apart in that time, and your mind and body will thank you for the break. It's time to let the day settle, to permit yourself to breathe deeply without distractions. Don't force sleep. Instead, invite it. Sleep isn't something we can chase or demand. It's a delicate guest that arrives only when we've created the right atmosphere, one of calm and patience. When we honor the rhythms our bodies have followed for millennia, it's not just about turning off the light. It's about gently setting the stage for rest, a rest that nourishes both the body and the mind. You deserve the kind of sleep that doesn't just feel like a break from the day, but a true renewal, leaving you feeling revived and ready to embrace the challenges of tomorrow. You deserve a rest that refreshes, recharges, and most importantly, heals. It's time to reclaim the kind of peaceful slumber that you thought you'd lost forever. The journey to better sleep starts here, just a step away from the screen. As we wrap up, I hope you found these tips helpful and insightful. We've explored some simple yet powerful changes you can make to your evening routine, starting with stepping away from the screen and honoring your body's natural rhythms. By taking small steps every night, you can create the perfect environment for restful, rejuvenating sleep that leaves you feeling refreshed and ready to take on whatever life throws at you. So, what have you learned today? Is there one small change you're excited to try tonight? I'd love to hear from you. Please comment below and share with us one thing you're going to put into practice in your own life. Let's inspire each other to make sleep a priority and take back the rest we all deserve. If you liked this video, don't forget to leave your comment below, and please hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more tips on living your healthiest, happiest life. Thank you for watching, and here's to better sleep, starting tonight.